If you will, welcome to the Coastside Fire Protection District Board of Directors regular board meeting, March 26, 2025. Roll call, please, James.
Board Member Cockrell,
Yes.
Anna, McKinney,
Here.
Cheryl, here, President Berg.
Here. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If any member of the public would like to address the board, now would be an opportunity to, please go forward. Just please introduce yourself, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Philip Levine. I'm the Montara co-lead for CERT, and I'm also a member of a group called Red Alert Montara Must Beach that was formed to address the fire hazard proposed by the Caltrans right of way.
I'm going to ask you to move that podium up closer so we can hear you. Sure. I'm just going to move you up.
No, let me know where you want me to.
Listen to the Yeah. Okay, all right. Please go on.
So I'm one of the members of RAD, which is a group that we formed very recently, basically after we saw the devastation from the LA fires. There's an impetus for us to form this group to try and address the fire hazard that's proposed by the excuse me. The fire hazard proposed by the Caltrans Devil Slide right of way that runs right through the middle of Montara Moss Beach. This shows the right of way. It's about 100 acres. I'll give a little bit of the history. The next slide. Basically, the land was purchased by Caltrans in the 80s as a bypass for Highway 1. In 1996, the tunnel project was proposed, and in 2005, it was launched. And essentially, the land became surplus land for Caltrans, and they don't have a use for it at the moment. Go to the next slide. Our issue is that the land was never maintained by Caltrans. It's been left as is. It's overgrown mostly by eucalyptus trees. Sorry, just go back a second. You can see the difference between what the land looked like in the 80s when it was purchased compared to what it looks like now. The land runs right through, as I said, right through Montara. 90% of it falls in an area designated as a very high fire zone, and it's probably one of the contributors to the fact that it's designated a very high fire zone. From ground level, you can see how overgrown it is, hasn't been maintained. All of the debris from the trees has fallen, just stayed there, and nothing's really been done to the majority of the land since Caltrans has purchased it. And there's really no defensible space between the right of way and the houses that are adjacent to it. Our issue, what we believe is the state doesn't actually address this, could be, the area could be the spark that could ignite the 2,400 homes that are in Montara and Moss Beach, and could possibly affect the entire Midcoast. The infrastructure of the Montara Water and Sanitary District is adjacent to the right of way and runs through it. 80% of the water from Montara and Moss Beach is from these facilities, so any fire obviously would have a significant effect on that. And there's really no evacuation path for Montara. So the fire there could be devastating. What we want Caltrans to take responsibility for the land and to mitigate the very high fire hazard that they've created that exists in our community. We want them to publish a timeline and a plan for mitigation of the fire hazard. And we want it done as soon as possible. We've been in touch with Caltrans, and they've responded and have agreed to at least start clearing the fallen debris in the right of way. We're supposed to start soon. Now they're saying it'll start next week or the following week, but soon they're supposedly going to be clearing the debris that's in the right of way. And apparently they're preparing a plan to, that they intend to share with CAL FIRE to, deal with the rest of the vegetation and the trees that are there that proposed by it. What we really want, and the reason that we wanted to present it to the board, is to get your guidance on what needs to be done to in fact ensure that this takes place, and what we really need to do to achieve our goals.
So, yeah, let me, as I mentioned to you earlier, this item is not on our agenda, so there won't be any action taken today and anything. I would ask that it be appropriate to put this on our agenda for this coming month to see whether it's appropriate. The only other thing I would mention to you, first of all, we're not CAL FIRE. This is the Coastside Fire Protection District. Different animal. As I recall, that land and that property is partially in the county, partially within the fire district. And is part of it in the water district, San Francisco Water District.
No,
But anyway, it's whatever it is, but we certainly will consider it. Your points are well taken. I think we agree wholeheartedly, that's fine. The only other thing I would mention is that this district attempted to do what you're doing some years ago, had meetings with Caltrans, meetings up there, toured the area and so forth, got zero response. So I wish you luck. We would hopefully be a partner and contribute to it, but we'll see how that goes in the future. Thank you for your information. Thank you.
Can I just make a clarification?
Please go ahead. Who's your name?
My name is Larry DeYoung. I'm the chair of the
Oh, I'm
steering
sorry.
committee.
I saw your name. Thanks, Larry. All right, go ahead, please.
Okay, so Sarah Calamar, I believe, is on this meeting by Zoom or whatever meeting she has. But she's the forest protection person in Felton from CAL FIRE.
Yes,
You know,
Sarah Collimer.
Yeah,
Yes, she's our forester too.
yeah.
Or,
Well,
yeah,
and
forester one.
I just wanted to say, we had the discussion about the LRA versus the SRA. And the fact of the matter is, I live in the state area, but if I call 911, you guys are coming, CAL FIRE is coming. So the entire area of the, I understand what you're saying, you're not CAL FIRE per se, but these guys are CAL FIRE. And they're gonna come to my house, my house is burning down, even though I'm in the state responsible area.
Okay, thank you. Our fire marshal will be very much involved in this. We'll put it back on our agenda, see what's appropriate for this district. And I repeat, I think your effort, what you're doing is well intended.
No question, you're on the right track.
Thanks for
Okay.
that.
All right,
yeah, and I'd
Well,
like
thank you.
to add, thank you.
sorry about the name.
I just add that we know that there've been efforts in the past to address it, but haven't succeeded. And we intend to, to approach whoever we think needs to be approached for this, whether it be at the county level or the state level, to put this on their agenda and to make sure that it's addressed, because we feel that it's about time that it is.
Okay,
I just want to make a comment. My dad was a forestry professor. Basically, this kind of thing was exactly his business. When he first visited our house in Montero, first came here, he kind of looked at all the vegetation. He explained to me, he said, none of this should be here. So the picture you showed us, that should not even be here.
Right.
Correct. Eucalyptus, Monterey pine, and Monterey cypress, they're all exotic invasive species. So Caltrans is just stonewalling. He says, wait a minute, that's not right. So that's just a comment, basically supporting your efforts.
Thank you, everyone, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Just, excuse me.
Just have a question. Has this jurisdictional issue been sorted before? Sorted out? Do we know exactly?
No,
Is responsible for what?
doesn't my knowledge, no.
The fuel mitigation is the responsibility of the landowner.
Which is Caltrans. Which in this case is absolutely the
So
state.
we need to
Caltrans.
work with the landowner and help mitigate the reduction.
And again, just for my own clarification, when you say we, is it the Coastside Fire Protection District? Is it CAL FIRE because it's on county land? Who is?
I think it should be a collaborative approach with all parties.
Okay,
So there's section that touches coastside, county fire, CAL FIRE, may even touch GGNRHs. So working with our federal partners as well
Okay.
and Caltrans to come up with a mitigation plan that we can all, that meets all of our requirements.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it sounds really easy, but it's not. Really.
It's not really.
Yeah.
Can I just add one more piece of information? Caltrans, who I've been corresponding with, says that they had a walkthrough with CAL FIRE last month. Nobody in CAL FIRE, that were these two gentlemen here, know who that person from CAL FIRE was that walked through the row with them. But that's what they said. They say they're going to be consulting CAL FIRE on the plan. And we really hope you guys are heavily involved.
Okay, thank you all. It's on our agenda to see what we can do, what the appropriate would be for the role of the coastside fire protection district.
Thank you.
Are there any other members of the public who would like to speak? See?
I just want to make two quick comments. One is to start with learning of Chief Cox's move from the district, and just to make a public voice of appreciation for what he did for the district and his leadership within and how it affected this board. So I'm sure there'll be other times to build on that, but I wanted to say it today. And then the second item I see on the agenda is for the remaining quarter lot of Station 41 and the movement forward of that. And I just want to voice my appreciation to the board with staying connected to that and be positive about that and working very diligently to help make that happen. I think it's going to be as an El Granado resident, I think it's going to be an amazing addition to that part of our community, and I appreciate your constant support of that. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Any members of the public? Sid?
Well, I attended the LAFCO meeting was this week or last week? It seems like it was already last week. And I saw Director Burke and he told me that Chief Cox had left the district, and I was hoping there'd be some kind of little public goodbye party or commendation for him, but it seems like he's already gone. So if you have one, I hope you'll invite the public, because he really did a lot for us. And I do want to go ahead and address what he said too, just.
We all agree.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
thanks.
Any other members of the public would like to make any comments? All right, I'll close the public comment period. Moving back to the agenda. Do I have a motion on the consent calendar to note that Director McKinney is asked to be recused? Roll call, please.
Director Cockrell,
Yes.
Director Hannah, Director Cheryl,
Yes,
President Burke.
Yes. Moving on to continuing business, Station 41 South Lot Improvement Program. I know we have Sean Rose on, and first of all, I call the board's attention to the packet that's in our agenda packet here regarding this item. It has a very thorough summary and status report on it. Sean, I don't know if you would like to make any overall comments. I think we've had covered a lot of it.
Presentation, Chair Burke, if you'd like me to proceed with that, I'd be happy to do that. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
You can hear me. Okay, great. Yeah, so I have a brief presentation. I'd be happy to give that if you would like.
Fixing the audio real quick, John.
Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, if it's not a microphone issue on my end or if it's, or not.
It's ours.
It's ours, sorry. Sean, are you going to share your
Look.
screen?
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen. Yes.
Okay, you can go for that.
Okay, well then if, just let me know, Megan, when you can hear me, okay?
Not working.
It's gonna be kind of. Sean, we're good to go.
Okay, and Megan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great, okay, thank you. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. So Chair Burke, if you would like, I have a brief presentation to outline the staff report that you have. If you'd like, I can proceed with that.
He has a staff report.
Let me, Sean, let me, try something to see if it works for the board, and if not, ask you to elaborate on it. But I want to try just something very simple to see what happens. We've had reports on this
Yeah.
item now for a number of months, and you've been working on it for many months. I'm not really sure. But I would ask the board that in that packet, if you would look to the drawing that shows the station 44 and the surrounding. You have that in your packet? Yeah, I see, Bruce, you have it.
Yeah.
Okay, and when we look at this drawing, visualize this if you will. The yellow, which is the sidewalk that's on Alhambra, is alternate number 1. That is number 1. The cost of that to the district and all the costs completed in that is $520,000 for that in the yellow that's there, the whole thing. If you, excuse me, yeah, no, I misspoke. It's the red that is the $520,000. $520,000 to the thing, I misspoke, it's the red. If you take the yellow and the red together, that goes from Alhambra down to Coronado and across Obispo, that whole thing is $510,000. It's $10,000 less than just doing what you see in front of you in red. And the reason is because, as Sean has explained to us in the past, he's been able to have the county contribute funds for the entire project. Secondly, he's been able to get foundations to contribute to the entire projects, and neither the county or those organizations would contribute to just the red or the small pieces. So in an odd situation,
Mike, can you hear me?
entire work all the way around it, complete and everything, costs the districts and the citizens of the districts $10,000 less than the smaller one. That sounds illogical, but that's government work.
Sounds like a no-brainer.
So we're at it. Did I misspeak, speak, John?
No, I mean, that's correct. That's the difference between the award alternatives before you tonight. There's actually multiple actions before you. That's one of them, awarding the construction contract to Scapes, the apparent low bidder. I also have 3 other actions that we're recommending to be taken so we can move this project into construction. And if you'd like, I can go through those quickly.
Not sure that it's necessary. I think what I'd like to do is ask the board if there's any questions that they would have and or comments to make, and then we'd move on, hopefully, to a resolution. But
That's fine. And Chair Burke, I just wanted to point out, we have joining us tonight, we have Bray Hunter from the County of San Mateo. She's a management analyst and the staff liaison to the ADA committee there. We also have and so she worked with me on the county ADA funding that is in the staff report. And the cost share agreement that you're being asked to approve tonight. We also have with us Carleen Foldenauer. She's the Safe Route to School coordinator for the local area, worked closely with the local school district. And I worked with Carleen on the grant that the $28,000 grant from the Safe Route to School program. And so they're both available to answer any questions you might have about those funding sources.
questions, comments?
I'd just like to thank the collected leaders of this project who have gathered for this meeting, who really have worked together beautifully to come up with a plan that allows us to do this project and share the costs and benefit this community. Thank you to to Steve for starting us off, for President Burke, who has continued to take the leadership on this, and to Mr. Rose, who has really done an outstanding job of working with community representatives who worked in good faith to come up with significant funding for this, and we appreciate it very much. It's a project that needs to be done, and now it's going to be done completely and done well. Thank you for this community effort.
Yes, please.
So Sean, the crosswalk, how elaborate is that gonna be?
I'll share just a schematic here if I would. Let me go straight to this. Can you see the plan that's on the screen here for the sidewalk improvements?
Yes.
Okay, so there are 2 sheets in our plan set. There's 21 sheets in the set, but there's 2 sheets that I have here that answer your question. So, you're looking at the south lot here that has got the meandering Granite Creek path through it, and the fire safe interpretive garden. The sidewalk here is it starts here where the prior sidewalk left off. So right now it just ends right here at a curb ramp. It will go all the way around. That'll be county standard sidewalk, curb and gutter, all the way around the garden to the bus stop up here. It'll also, with alternative 2, the complete alternative that's being recommended, would continue further. And if I go to the next sheet, that's just a match line. You can see it goes.
Right, I was just asking about the crosswalk.
Oh, sure. So the crosswalk of Obispo down here it's a high visibility crosswalk. And all these improvements, the curb ramps, the high visibility crosswalk, the signage, the striping, is consistent with the Safe Route to School plan that we're getting help from the grant for.
So we're actually doing a little bit of sidewalk work on the other side of Obispo.
On the other side, there'll be a curb ramp to connect to the existing sidewalk that goes down to Highway 1.
Is there?
Yes.
Okay. It's all dirt. Okay, thank you.
Uh,
I guess there
Let
is.
me just add a couple just for information, is that when we had the permission for to build the Station 41 in the first place, included in that, we also built 3 sidewalk entries, 2 on Alhambra and 1 down on the corner of Obispo, which are there now. We paid for those previously, so that's in place. And I suspect my next comment might echo with Director McKinney, but I just have kind of a sad feeling when fire districts are getting involved in building county sidewalks. But the fact is that, if we're gonna get that done, we just gotta swallow it, and we're gonna have to go forward and get it done. That's the only way it's gonna happen. So even though I have some personal angst about it, I would support it, but that's. Let me do this and then we'll.
There's a hand over there.
All right, Sid, what is it? Go ahead.
I just wondered, is it just the yellow that's mandatory, I mean, the red that's mandatory, or is none of it mandatory? You're just,
Mandatory, nothing.
none of it's mandatory, okay, thank you.
With that, I would make approve a resolution to authorize the award of contract to Skates in the amount of $563,509 with an additional $46,351,000 for additional construction contingency fund. Is there a number on this? We have a number.
I think there is a number to it. Yeah, it's 2025-05.
That would be. Where you find that?
It's on top of the resolution.
Well, what I just said is I make a motion to approve resolution of a 2025-05 for those 2 subjects that I just mentioned.
Second.
Further discussion? Roll call, please, Gene.
Director Cockrell.
Yes.
Director Hannah. Director McKinney.
Yes.
Director Cheryl.
Yes.
President Burke.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0, absent.
thank you. Echo Director Cheryl, I thank everybody who was involved in this. It's been a long, difficult process, but I think it will be a real beautiful spot and serve the community very well. Thank you. Okay. Moving on. Item D under continuing business. Mr. Hunter, oh no, that's 88, excuse me, we're up to new business. First of all, point of board secretary. I nominate Chief Wilson for board secretary.
I'll second that.
Thank
Discussion?
you,
Okay,
Chief
close vote.
Wilson.
Roll call, please.
Director Cockrell.
Yes,
Director Hannah. Director McKinney.
Yes,
Director Cheryl. Yes. Director President Burke.
Yes. Congratulations.
4-0 and absent.
Item D, under new business, review and discuss wildlife preparedness and response with the district chief.
All right, so last month's meeting, it was asked to put together kind of a preparedness and response where the district currently sits. So I had put together a quick PowerPoint here to kind of go over where we are with preparedness and where we are with response. And then I have a few recommendations. So if we can just skip the slide to get that. All right, so preparedness for the district, we have our fire code implementation and enforcement, which is we're usually within 100% compliance of that annually. And doing a good job. We have pretty good public education. We have a vegetation and weed abatement program. Defensible space program will probably be growing with the adoption of an LRA fire hazard severity zone ordinance, which I'll talk about. We could probably improve on messaging, home hardening, and working with community members, and there's some ideas that I have with that. And then emergency preparedness itself, we have an amazing CERT program on the coast. And we have a robust response model within coastside fire. Next slide, please. So the weed abatement program is being done annually. We did have a vegetation abatement program, which is currently inactive. As there was some challenges, I believe, Chief Griffin, was that correct?
Our vegetation lots turned to weed abatement lots, it's larger vegetation. was
Yeah.
removed.
Chipper programs, RCD within San Mateo County has a chipper program. We participated in that. That's something that we could look to expand, as I think that as we look at the LRA fire hazard severity zone maps that were released, more community members are going to want to be making a difference on their property. So that's something we can work with the RCD on, improving the number of chipper program days on the coast in the coastside district. There's the El Granado Resilience Project, and then we have our coastside CERT. Next slide, please. On preparedness, there's the LRA and SRA, which the district has both. But the fiscal responsibility in the LRA falls on the district for response and suppression, and then the SRA for wildland that falls on the state. Contracting with CAL FIRE, you get the full suite, you might say. So some areas within the county have what we identify as an MTZ or a mutual threat zone, which is a buffer zone depending on geographical area and fuels. On if a fire starts in a LRA area, what type of response the state is going to send to make sure that that fire stays on the LRA and does not come into SRA, or if it's on the SRA, we have an LRA response. So we're working together to suppress that fire with multiple forces. So the district is looking as well there, is contracting with CAL FIRE. You're getting the state response on wildland fires within the district. Next slide. This is the 2025 LRA fire hazard severity zone map that was released on February 24th. It identifies very high, and moderate zones, which the previous map only identified very high zones. So you can see that within the Coastside Fire Protection District, there is a large amount of red that has been identified as very high. There's 51 statutes that follow that very high zone identification, and some of those require defensible space inspections, disclosure. There's some chapter 7A building construction, home hardening that are in the very high, and then in the high disclosure notices are also required. So when someone goes to sell their home, an inspection needs to be done stating they meet the requirement for defensible space. So the builders reach out. So that's something that the district we're going to need to look at in the coming years, because this is going to put an large additional workload onto the fire marshal or who we identify to handle that within the LRA within the district. Next slide, please. So preparedness, zone 0 is a newer term that's being discussed. It is currently at the Board of Forestry, and I believe they're looking for the end of 2025 for it to be pushed out. That is a 0, so from the side of your structure 5 feet out, no combustible material. So that's probably going to have some controversy, because we all enjoy our landscape that makes our house look appealing. So we're going to have to get creative within California on how we can still have an appealing landscape around our house, but be fire safe. And then we have the zone 1, which is the 5 feet to 30 feet, and the zone 3, which is 30 to 100 feet away from the structure. And that's going to help if the structure catches fire and not going into the wildland, and a wildland fire not going into the structure. Next slide. So response here in the district, we have the 3 stations staffed 24/7. We have 2 Type 6 engines that are currently available, which are very mobile wildland type engines with smaller water capacity and pump than the Type 3, which we have on order. That was ordered from the district in 2023 or late 2022. And the build time should be sometime in July or August this year, with us receiving it probably winter of this year. I kind of talked already about the local and state response model, how being contracting with CAL FIRE, you do get a state response when wildland fire within the district is called in. I have a water tender with a question mark, because that is something maybe us as a district should look at. Southern California did have water challenges. They also had a significant fire fight on their hands, and potentially having all the water in the world could have not made a difference, or could have. But there are times where the coast can be isolated, and having the ability to move large amounts of water efficiently would benefit. So that is something I think the district should look at as potentially helping us in our response model. Next slide. What we can do, and I talked earlier about the community approach for the Caltrans right away, all of us doing this together. We're going to take homeowners, the fire department, the district, everybody to make this benefit. So people need to do defensible space. They need to do home hardening. We have Fire Safe and FireWise. The Fire Safe in San Mateo was the first one in the state of California. So they were leading the charge there. FireWise communities forming that helps them understand things they can do to improve their defensible space, home hardening, evacuation routes, participating in more evacuation drills, which we are planning in 2025. Captain Moda is already working on some evacuation drills with DEM, which is going to allow us to make sure that the community members are understanding of access and egress routes and how that'll all work out. Signing up for SMC alerts is extremely important. Getting notified early. And then on there, I have Know Your Zone. So Genesis, which used to be Zone Haven, is the evacuation platform that's utilized when we are evacuating areas within San Mateo and Santa Cruz County, and understanding where your zone is and the different modes of an evacuation. Warning or order would be beneficial for those in the district. And that is what I have. So my recommendation would be for the board to maybe direct staff, give you a staff report on the feasibility of the water tender, And that we bring next month the LRA fire hazard severity zone ordinance for First Street to you, because we have 90 days. 87 days to fully adopt that, provide that before.
Thank you, chief.
You brought up, we should consider a water tender. Quite some time ago, before I think you were even around here. There was discussion about a state funded engine company being based here in the district. Then you brought up the water tender, and I'm thinking this would be a natural. Have a state funded water tender based right here in the district.
So CAL FIRE itself, we have one water tender in our fleet, and that is at our academy. That is not a resource that we staff.
Okay,
We use private equipment, hired equipment for that. So if we have a large scale fire, we use private vendors for water tenders. But the conversation of a state engine being housed within the district is definitely something that could be a conversation. There's a process on the state side of doing that, but if that's something the board is interested in, they could probably draft a letter of support for something like
yeah,
that.
well, I think it would be a good idea, and then if we were to, okay, then the district could buy a water tender. I imagine. Actual emergency, it could be staffed by whoever is closest.
Yeah, you guys have a very robust volunteer.
Yeah, we do.
In other counties, a lot of times the volunteers that are in wildland prone communities, they are very efficient with the water tenders.
But I would like to explore further having the state, as you pointed out, we can be isolated. So I think it might be a good use of state funds to have a state funded engine within the district.
If they fund it, they're gonna wanna take it. Or if we buy our own, we can keep it in district.
Well, let's, first of all, let's get it on the agenda and find out whether I get one. So I liked the suggestions you had for putting on the agenda, the zones and the water tender. Please have put those on the agenda for the discussion. Yes.
In addition to these, thank you for this presentation. In addition to the resources that you have put up there for everyone, there was a new one that was released this past Monday. David Cosgrave has joined us, who is of course now part of DEM. It's DEM's new emergency dashboard. So perhaps, not to put you on the spot, Chief Cosgrave, but perhaps you would want to describe this new resource, this new DEM dashboard, which is something we can all refer to. Would you want to just describe the?
So the dashboard is just to kind of take the different maps from the state, the tsunami maps and things like that. So people from San Mateo County can go to them and find that. So they're incorporating different dashboards in different county specific ones. When the tsunami happened and people were directed to one website, it got overloaded. So it's a redundancy to direct people to another location in case there is that type of event again. And it would be a one-stop resource for people in the county to look at for different hazards in the county.
Thank you. So it is focused on tsunami because this is Tsunami Week, but they are expanding it to be a wildfire resource as well. Something that can really be useful to us because we try to describe as simply as possible, what do people need to know and what do they need to do for any emergency.
Go ahead, someone.
Totally separate subject, and there have been other discussions, and it doesn't seem like it's a very productive alternative. But here we are, right next to this ocean. Is there anything from a firefighting standpoint that can be done to utilize seawater or ocean water if in an emergency, in a wildfire?
Well, our helicopters can draw from the ocean, yes.
Okay,
Yeah, and the CAL FIRE fleet will be transitioning fully out of the Huey this year, so there's only 2 remaining Hueys. So like, the MASH style helicopter, and those are in the North State, so in Humboldt and in Lassen Modoc County. And we have the new S70I Firehawk, which can hold up to 1,000 gallons of water, and it's non-bucketed, it's a fixed tank, so it has a snorkel and they can draw from the ocean. They're dual motored now, so they can fly over the ocean very safely.
do you see other technologies on the horizon that are going to enable us because we look so much like other coastside communities with mountains on the eastern edge of us, what we can do, what we have learned from Lahaina, from Palisades, from these other fires that will help us be better prepared.
I think one thing that we can do in working with DEM, and Trudy and Dave there is that, making sure that messaging of potential during extreme weather conditions. All of these events have not happened in, say, a static weather pattern. They've happened in a very severe weather pattern, offshore wind forecasted. So notifying, educating people, signboards up, things like that, things gonna let people know if something happens, puts them on a heightened awareness. They're getting their go backs, they're getting all these things kind of prepared, and not the fact that someone's getting a notification at 2 in the morning and haven't been prepared.
Right.
So, that's the early messaging, I think, is key. And then there's a lot of stuff that's like down in the weeds, like taking a single car if you're a multi-car family. That's less cars being evacuated, less cars on the road, being more efficient to evacuate people. So doing those kind of things, there's a lot of like small linear things that we can improve upon that have been, came out of the fires we've had recently.
Thank you.
I just repeat something I believe I've said a couple times, I'll say it again, is that chatting with just informally with people, I think there's a naivete about the fact that when they talk about Southern California, they think, well, that couldn't happen here. And man, I hear that and I think, holy smokes, I mean, they're gonna head in the sand when they say that kind of thing. Chief, I would just ask, and we're not gonna change some very pertinent points, and I appreciate that. I'd like to ask him to make sure that the chief's report has annually, or each month we have now, an update on what's going on relative to wildfires and what's being done. We're gonna have something discussing about the water tender next week, but any other program. It seems to me one of the things that might be confusing is that when we talk about wildfire, you say, well, who's in charge? Okay, if there's something happens, who has the baton that says we're gonna do this and we're gonna do it? I mean, we're gonna have different groups, the state, the county, Coastside Fire District, other interested parties, trying to give directions to people and so forth. Just clarifying the line of communications, and maybe it's me, but it just seems that a lot of people well-intended, but with so many hands in the fire, it gets a little bit confusing sometimes to what the appropriate is. I just make that point. I just like to ask to have it on the agenda to see if we can piecemeal go forward. If somebody, another quick thought is that we're trying to get people to agree and take action on this, the vegetation around the house. Maybe there's a way that we can get some kind of a recognition for people to do that. I am a member of the Fire Safe House Council or something, or to be positive rather than negative to look that people don't do it. Maybe there's something positive we can think about that might be helpful. Anyway.
People are going to want to know exactly what they have to do. What am I gonna do about this wooden fence that is less than 5 feet from my house, my neighbor's house? How exactly am I going out there now and chopping all this vegetation, this whole line of, hedge down? What exactly do I need to do? And if I were to sell my house, what are the materials that are going to be required so that I work towards it? So we're not hitting people all at one time with a large expense connected to their properties.
There's some technology, that I just learned about some of it yesterday, so, that I think over the next month, maybe I think Pat and I were talking about it earlier, that you can actually utilize some applications to take pictures, and it uses AI and stuff to tell you that this tree could generate this amount of BTUs and you need to cut it this amount. But it sounds great when someone's presenting something. I'd like to look at it a little bit more before I bring it to the board.
Right.
But using technology to help notify people and educate them so that they're getting this a linear message. It's not bifurcated from a bunch of different spots telling you, cut that tree down. No, don't cut that tree down. We want it to be like, trim the tree up, keep your tree or cut it down.
I think these maps are going to focus the community's attention on the protection office to say, please give us definitive guidance. And
And there is definitive guidance out there, what we will be running into more of, just like with any sale of a home. All those improvements are not done until it's on going on the market, right? So that last minute. Bill is still gonna be what it is to get it to them, but the state farm marshal's office, we provide listings of all building materials that are applicable. You know, high fire severity zones and everything like that, so that is out there.
so it all exists. We
It
just
does,
need to
yeah.
distribute that to the people who want to know what it is. Okay,
And I believe chapter 7A is being updated to section 7 of the building code. And it'll be a more understandable and encompassing WUI home park.
Right, and that will be a lot of that with the building construction, but also joint with either the county building department or the city building department. So
fantastic. Thank you. We would, we will help distribute that information. Because that is something that everyone is going to be asking.
Sid, you had a question?
No, I was just gonna make a suggestion, if you're gonna, research possibly getting a water tender for our district. And you're gonna be reaching out to Caltrans about that right away. Maybe they would help foot the cost since they have a big fuel load in that right away. And also, I was just gonna ask, what's the Type 3 engine, because you didn't mention what it was.
Okay, so the Type 3 engine is like what you see on the news for like a wildland fire. So they used to be conventional, which 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. Now majority of them are all 4-wheel drive. Seats 4 to 5 people, 500 plus gallons, 750 GPM pump, I think, on the requirement. So it's more of it's not like the type of engine that's going to be responding normally out of station 40. It's a little bit more compact, agile, and can travel in the mountains.
So we are not planning for the 5-story building on Main Street, Kelly Avenue, 555 Kelly. We have equipment for our 5-story lateral fire, right?
Correct.
Goody, thank you.
All right, moving on. Item C, new business, review, discuss, take possible action on the draft municipal service review from LAFCO. I'm going to pass on that. I spoke earlier to the chief, and they're in the LAFCO report, which we're going to respond to. There is a request or an idea to change the sphere of influence. But rather than trying to deal with it here at this meeting, we'll let the chief come back to us in our response to LAFCO, cover that item then. If that's appropriate to do that. With that, I'm going to move on to item D. Item D in new business, a hearing on Cypress Cove Townhouses Association appeal of false alarms for Attorney Savory.
Yes, good evening. This is sort of a unique position that you'll be in this evening. I don't recall that you've ever heard an appeal before, but you have before you an appeal this evening. Filed by Cypress Cove Townhomes. It arises from fees assessed for false alarms. The district responded to 10 times for false alarms between February 6th and February 14th. And under your fee schedule, the alarms were billed, assessed to Cypress Cove, and they've now asked for partial relief. So if you look at the responses, the alarms between the 6th of February and the 10th of February, there were 5. And the cost assessed for those under your fee schedule is $3,785. Between the 12th and the 14th of February, there were the 6th through the 10th false alarms. And according to your fee schedule, those were billed out at $26,935. So there was a total assessment on fees for false alarms of $30,720. A representative of the townhomes contacted staff and asked if there could be some relief from those fees. And staff indicated that at a staff level, we do not have the authority to do that. But under your ordinances, when someone is asking for relief, it comes to you as the fire board, and you sit as an appeal board to hear that appeal and determine whether you'd like to grant any relief. So in this instance, and I see Mr. Ross is joining us by Zoom, he is the appellant, and What he says in his appeal was required to be a written appeal. It's attached as part of Exhibit 3 to your staff report. What he's indicated in his appeal is that on the 10th of February, he contacted Bay Alarm and asked them to come out. Apparently, he can address this more fully, and figure out why they were having false alarms. It took them until the 14th of February to address the situation. So what he's asking for is partial relief, saying because he took the action on the 10th of February to contact Bay Alarm, he's asking that you relieve them of the assessments for the 6th through the 10th alarms, all of which happened after the 10th of February. And that would reduce the assessed fees to $3,785. As you'll see in the staff report, staff is recommending that you deny the appeal. We're recommending that for a couple of reasons. Under your ordinances, a valid ground for appeal is that somehow a regulation, a fee, that's part of your properly adopted fee schedule has been applied inappropriately. And in this instance, there's no indication that these fees were calculated incorrectly. The fees were calculated and assessed exactly as your fee schedule calls for. Secondly, there is no dispute that you responded, the district responded 10 times to Cypress Cove. The only ground for appeal is Mr. Ross indicates they were not aware of the district's fee schedules, and had they been aware of the escalating fee for additional responses, he would have been more aggressive with Bay Alarm and gotten them out there sooner. So again, staff is recommending denial, and since you usually don't hear these sort of appeals, at the end of your staff report, I've suggested to you the way in which you should proceed this evening in order that Mr. Ross gets an opportunity to address you. So you've now gotten the written staff report, the oral staff report. We're happy to answer any questions as we can as a staff. If you have none, then I think it would be appropriate to hear from Mr. Ross. So are there any questions for staff?
Any questions at this point? This is Mr. Ross, is that his name?
Yes.
Nothing but right now.
Well, how does the fire marshal's office feel about this?
Well, this kind of stems from our adjustment to our fee schedule last year, and it was based on our previous property where we ran 70 plus false alarms without correction.
Right.
Based on the level of which the fees originally were, it was not motivating the property owner to correct the issue. For us, it's pretty black and white that if our engine's responding over and over again to a false alarm, they're now taken away from possibly responding to an emergency incident of validation within the district, right? With that, and as Gene mentioned, the statement of had they known the fees were different, they may have sped up the process. That doesn't eliminate the life safety component that needs to be addressed immediately.
Correct. Okay, thank you.
So then, as I understand what you're saying, it wasn't anything except the money they cared about.
Well,
In fact,
I
we
won't
might be.
I won't speak for them.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not saying.
Okay, that's, yeah, I'll infer from it then.
And there was multiple attempts by the engine company before it was routed to our office to make contact with the president of the HOA, who was either not available. No one could provide a contact email or phone number for, so it took a few days to even, outside of responding and making contact with people at the site, to get somebody to actually address the issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I agree with Gene.
So I think it would be appropriate at this time to hear from Mr. Ross, he's the
Yes, Mr.
appellant,
Ross.
to do his opportunity to address you.
Mr. Ross, you're on.
Thank you. Every time an alarm goes off at one of our properties that I manage, I get a phone call, and all of these alarms are going off in the middle of the night, anywhere from 12 in the night until like 2 or 3 in the morning. So I'm personally aware of what's happening. There was one alarm that went off. The first one was on a Thursday night, middle of the night. And because it's a marine climate out there, and I've lived in Half Moon Bay for a couple of years on Miramontes, a block off of Main Street. I'm familiar with the area very well. It could have been moisture in a smoke detector or something, a one-off. Okay, it didn't go off again until Sunday night. And then went off Sunday, and it's like, what the heck's going on? First thing Monday morning, I reach out to Bay Alarm. You got to get out here to take care of this. And they were like not responding right away. I ended up going out there and making an appointment with them to meet me on site, to walk them to where this was happening, to find the smoke detector that was not working properly, to have Chief Cox on the phone with me and the representative from Bay Alarm on site, making sure that we get that smoke detector replaced and not put the alarm on test for the weekend until they could find a new one. I was asking the tech's supervisor, where are these Honeywell detectors within the greater Bay Area? I'll drive and get one. I did everything I could to make that happen. They did get that replaced that day on the 14th. I was not aware of the extreme fines that would be levied on this. This is the first time in 31 years I've been managing homeowners associations where a property I've managed has been in a situation to be fined such extreme penalties. It's embarrassing and absolutely uncalled for that the problem continued for over a week. And I would ask that the board look at that as giving us some relief on these fees. $30,000 for the fire department coming out 10 times. It just seems a bit much. And I've done all I can to make this go away as fast as I was able to. I wouldn't be able to get people from Bay Alarm out over the weekend, but first thing Monday morning, I had them on the phone, tried to get them out here. And I would think that the property would be all right with the $3,785 in fines. We understand the fine schedule at this point, but that was never made clear to us previously.
Right. Mr. Ross, I have a question. Why don't you approach Bay Alarm to pay this fee?
I have.
Excuse me?
I have.
It seems to me they were the ones with the problem, but we're not the problem. It seems that you're addressing the wrong group. We're just endorsing or implementing our policy, but we are not the one that caused the problem.
I understand that, but I'm asking for leniency on the fines that are being assessed.
For the directors, comments, questions?
I'm inclined to accept the.
I think it would be time, I think first you should open the public hearing in case there's anybody either online or who would like.
Any member of the public like to speak on the subject? Hearing none, I'll close the public section. Comment. We have a recommendation to deny the appeal. Do I have a motion? Motion made,
Second.
motions made, second. Any further comments? Roll call, please, Jean.
Director Cockrell.
Yes.
Director Hannah. Director McKinney.
Yes.
Director Sherrill.
Yes.
President Burke.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And what we'll do is bring for your consent calendar next time, a written statement of denial based on the staff report. That's required under your ordinance, and that will be provided to Mr. Ross. Thank you, Mr. Ross.
Thank you. Moving on, Board of Directors reports. First one is in your packet is the financial spreadsheet. Year to date. There is nothing that is surprising there. I would just make a couple of very quick observations, comments. Our fund balance and the operations fund of the county is a little over $8 million. We have the late balance of 16 million, which is devoted almost entirely to the new station 44. The PAS balance, which we heard earlier today, is some 4 million, and CalClass, our newest diverse investment, is a little over 1.5 million. We have made 2 CAL FIRE payments on our contract for this year. And expenses are roughly about 40% of year to date. So we're in great shape financially unless somebody has any questions. Anything at all? No questions? Volunteer committee report. Director Crocker?
I left my notes in my other thing, so I don't have a report. They say the volunteers seem to be doing just fine, thank you.
Land and Structures Committee report. Director McKinney? Cheryl?
The report, we are moving forward without any additional invitations since the report was made last month. Mr. Rose is doing a fine job of moving things along, and we're just working on getting the interim site ready to go so that we can start the transition of the operations from 44 to there and start with demolition. So we are on track.
Yeah, you remind me of that, Chief. I'd like to ask that when we get the work on the south lot completed, I'd like to suggest that a letter be sent from the Coastside Fire Protection District to Mr. Ross and his firm, complimenting him on the job he's done, because I think
Yes.
he did an outstanding job.
He is,
So
and
at some point in time, he did do that. Is that it?
I just also appreciate that the way that Mr. Rose does business, he is an excellent representative of this district and works to keep peace in the community and to work well with our various contractors. He does a good job.
Vegetation Management Committee, Dr. Cockrell.
I think that's basically what we spent a lot of time doing already this evening. Thank you.
Special Districts Association, Director Hannah, who is not here this evening, we pass on that. ALS and JPA, as I mentioned at our last meeting, I am still waiting for a meeting on the, I guess, some special districts are going to meet with the county that I'm on, and Chief Wilson is on management committee of the ALS. And Chief, I don't know if you've had any meetings.
No meetings.
It stands, okay, that's the status. Emergency preparedness report. Yes, sir.
Well, we have Chief Cosgrave in our presence. Perhaps you would like to make the report, sir.
I don't have the agenda. Is this the DEM report or your?
Vegetation monitoring place there.
No, this is the emergency preparedness liaison report with DEM.
So the Department of Emergency Management has been busy with public outreach, doing a lot of, as you can anticipate, tsunami type of events. We do have a statewide drill tomorrow for emergency partners. Chief West will be on it tomorrow. For the county, we're gonna have a communication drill prior to the 1 hour drill with the state. Just a communication drill with local coastal partners, kind of recreating what happened on December 5th. And starting a text thread and a Teams meeting so we can kind of do that compressed 1 hour impact. Just get a communication exercise of that information flow or lack thereof that comes in the first hour for us. And then the statewide drill, I sit on the tsunami steering committee. I think I asked enough questions where they made the drill, which will be a 7.4 earthquake on the San Gregorio Fault, just about a quarter mile south of Ocean Colony or the Ritz-Carlton. The effect of that strike slip fault will not be a tsunami that impacts the maximum zone you see on the maps, but would be an immediate need for people on the beach and low-lying areas to head to high ground. It would be within 5 minutes, it would be an immediate impact that the ocean energy would start to affect the thing. So when you feel a large earthquake, when you're in a low-lying area, it's to head to high ground by foot, right? To get off the beach, off the bluffs, out of the creeks areas. So that's what we're doing there. We do have on April 26th at the San Mateo County Event Center, a wildfire themed event, kind of timely with the maps and the Palisade fire. So it's kind of an add-on to what we do every year in August. This year, August 2nd will be the normal disaster preparedness day, which has all the equipment and everything out at the fairgrounds. This one's going to be inside the Fiesta Hall, which is a more educational and informative exercise of talking about wildfire mitigation tasks and home hardening and all those types of things. So that's what we're doing on our.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions? Thank you.
Any chance there's gonna be something like that over here on the coast side for wildfire home hardening?
They're just doing the one countywide and it's gonna be at the Perkins.
Good, thank you. Cert report, Dr. Cheryl.
We are right in the middle of spring cert. We have 33 candidates from 12 different neighborhoods and 2 separate agencies who are studying with us now. Tonight is our 3rd class. I don't know when Chief Cosgrave gets any rest. He teaches for about 45 hours in this whole period of this whole arc of spring cert and everything that goes with it. And he does it on nights and weekends, and we are very grateful to him. He has trained and he leads a group of 5 other instructors who assist him. But it's an amazing team and it's a tremendous program. And we have 2.5 hours tonight with live fire suppression and utility control outside, and then other chapters in here this evening. And then on Saturday, there will be the full training day and graduation, which will not only have the 33, but 39 other CERT volunteers who are currently CERTs in this area who gave us their Saturday to come in and support the CERTs who are becoming certificated.
Correct.
To be sure that everyone has one-on-one attention, that they're performing the skills correctly, and that they have the confidence to be able to do this beyond training. So that's where we are currently. Coastside Gives, which is the way that we keep this operation free of charge, starts up on April 1st and runs for a month. So we hope the community, we believe that Rising Tide raises all boats, and it's for 73 different nonprofits on the coast side. And we hope that you give a lot to them and a little to us. So that's our Coastside Gives philosophy. And then we begin an arc of radio training, which happens every month for about 5 months that teaches FRS radio, ham radio, and culminates in the Great Coastside Shakeout, which is the only coastside-wide earthquake and radio communications drill connecting all of the neighborhoods and various other agencies on the coast side that will occur in September.
Right.
So that's the end of my report.
Sure, that's it. Okay, moving on. The training report. Very good. Ayamash's report.
Good evening. For the month of February, there were 21 plans reviewed, 24 inspections, and 125 annual business inspections completed. And the report.
Very good, thank you. Fire Chief's report, Chief Wilson.
All right, so around 100 or 220 calls for the district last month, the month of February. All engines responded well within their required timeframes for the ALS JPA. And I don't have any new agreements. One thing to add is that, as was talked about earlier, Chief Cox has gone to a new agency. I keep saying we're going to fill behind him because I think Chief Cox is irreplaceable. We have started that process through the state, and that job announcement closed yesterday. So in 7 days, we should have those folks have applied, and then we will hold interviews shortly thereafter once we receive the recruitment list, and hopefully have someone here in a short time frame. I'm really pressuring our hiring to make sure that we do this quickly and efficiently, because it's a gigantic void. An additional workload that I'd like to spread out a little bit. So I think also Chief Griffin's been helping, Chief West's been helping a lot, picking up where they can to make sure that we're continuing to be successful. And it'll be exciting to have Chief Cox is not leaving us far, he's just going over the hill. So he'll still be part of the fire chiefs group, deputies chiefs group in the county, and I think he'll still make a lot of positive change. But over the last 5.5 years, he was with Coastside and San Mateo County. I think he has helped steer the direction of both programs in a really good way, so. Big thanks to him.
Is there a mechanism for thanking him as he makes this transition?
What kind, what are you looking for, like a mechanism, like a plaque, or are you looking for, like,
I just wanted to know what the protocol was. So how do we thank people who have given us outstanding
Would you like to
service?
have accommodation framed and given to him for service here?
What do you think will matter the most to him, Chief Wilson?
in the fire service, it's kind of tradition to receive a plaque of some sort for, an accommodation or your service. If that's something the district would like to do, and it falls within their
I
policies.
think,
and
I think the
procedures.
board is unanimous. Yeah, we would like to,
Absolutely.
please. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, good point.
Nothing further, it's report.
Anything else from the board? I'd like to mention just one unrelated item that came up, we talked earlier about having to talk to LAFCO. And their report that is in our packet. In the course of doing that, I was looking at a couple of things that go on in the district that you don't really think of. One has to be this training tower that is here on the property. And I think some of the board remembers what a difficult time it was to get that lot completed. It was a mud hole and there was nothing there. And we tried on a couple of occasions through the city and some other areas to get approval for that site. I finally was able to do it after much difficulty. But I was somewhat surprised at the amount of use that facility gets. Simply going back and forth home, I go by here a lot to see a lot of things, but it's interesting that not only do we and our firefighters, if you will, both sides train there, if you will, San Mateo County firefighters use the facility, if you will. There are volunteer fire companies in the area who are here using that point as well for training and various other things. There is now, I'm told, interest in the sheriff's department using the facilities for some use. I'm not sure which, if you will. There is the San Mateo Community College that is now asked to use. They have a program for aspiring firefighters that are going to use it. And we're also going to be using it for truck training, and I'm not exactly sure what that consists of, but to do it. And the last one that really threw me was that the Coast Guard has inquired about using the facility. So, the decision that was made a few years ago and the fight that went on to get that thing in place, and that facility and lot has become a community asset that helps the entire Coast Guard. And I thought it was just interesting, and I mentioned that for what it's worth. Hearing nothing else, without objection, whoops.
We have one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
One correspondent.
Yes, we have a request, actually, we approved
It's a 3-year term.
We've already approved it for 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I spoke with Kevin, it was just kind of a reminder that the event's coming up and that,
Okay,
that we'll be providing additional staffing for the event, just to kind
but we've
of,
already,
it's been approved.
we've approved it.
Yes.
Yeah, without objection, we adjourn. Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Well done.